Welcome back, Smart Nation, to another edition of our weekly webinar series. I am Michael Torrado, store manager of our Smart Pawn First Goodyear store. Today, we will be learning how to turn shoppers into buyers. We will learn today how to incorporate our product knowledge, sales standards, and amazing customer service to turn every potential interaction into a closed sale or layaway. In the Smart Nation, every day we come to work well-dressed and professional. We have green and clean, well-lit stores, and we cross that lease line ready for success because there is no substitute for preparation. When you're prepared, you'll know what you're on the floor to do, and that's sell. You'll know the best time to do it, and that time is now. And you know exactly what time it is. It's showtime. Professional retail selling starts with preparation and knowledge. These in turn give you self-confidence and control over the selling process. Having product knowledge and demonstrating confidence will give you the edge needed to convince your customer that they are making a wise choice by buying that product from you. We as an organization have a competitive advantage to have the science of the sales broken down for us in our sales standards. Our sales standards go as following. We must greet the customer within 5 seconds. Secondly, we must explain the layaway program to every single customer. That's every time. Third, we must explain and demonstrate the features and benefits of all merchandise presented. Fourth, we must attempt to add on to every sale. If a customer is buying a TV, great time to sell them a Blu-ray player. If a customer is buying a game console, great time to sell them a bundle of games. Fifth, we must attempt to close the sale, and when successful, give a loan guarantee card. And finally, thank every customer and invite them back. The pawn business is very important on rapport and building that book of business. Having those customers knowing that they can come back to see you and count on you every time to give them the best customer service and the best deal possible. So now we'll move on to opening the sale. The most critical step in your selling may very well be your opening line. Remembering that your first impression is usually your greatest impression. And the primary goal of that opening line is to open the customer up, to get past that resistance, to break those barriers, get rid of that salesperson to customer type relationship. You want to establish a person-to-person relationship rather than a relationship of salesperson to customer relationship. People like to buy from people that they trust, people that make them feel comfortable. And in order to make that customer feel comfortable and to start building trust in you, your opening question must have nothing to do with business. It should be questions to encourage conversation. Should be unique, sincere, or different enough to start a conversation. So once we initiate that dialogue, we determine the customer's needs and get into business. This is the transition period. Questions like, what brings you into our store today? Usually customers will respond with, I'm just looking, or I'm just browsing. I just wanted to see what you have. I'm killing time. My husband or wife is next door shopping. And that's great. Once you get your customer talking, you want to personalize those remarks. Hey, you mentioned that your husband or wife is next door shopping. What are they looking for? Anything to make your remarks more personable. You can talk about children, personalized clothing. Hey, that's a great 49ers jersey. Cars, current events, holidays that are coming up. Hey, do you have anything great planned for Labor Day weekend? Anything to break the ice, essentially. We also want to incorporate probing question as part of our arsenal of sales techniques. Most salespeople can find out what the customer wants. It takes a professional to find out the personal motivation the customer has for wanting it in the first place. And remember, probing is more than finding out why. Finding out why a customer wants an item is not the only goal of probing. Two additional and equally important goals of probing are to develop an understanding of a customer's wants, needs, and desires, and to develop the customer's trust in you. In your probing questions, you want to use open-ended, fact-finding questions. And then we want to demonstrate the item for that customer. Selling is the most fun when a customer says, I'll take it before you have the chance to say, will you buy it? But if you recall from last week's discussions on jewelry sales, you want to look like a million to sell luxury items. Remember that the item is most likely a gift or a treat for that customer. So let them see how good it looks on them. Let the customers touch, hold, and wear that item. Have a sales associate ready to model that jewelry if need be. Be prepared with conversations to encourage the customers to try the jewelry on. And now we'll recap this week's webinar. We went over our non-negotiable sales standards. We discussed how important it is to be prepared when it's showtime. We went over opening lines. We went over probing questions. And we went over the importance of the demonstration. And as always, I'd like to thank everyone for taking time out of their day to listen to another edition of our weekly webinar series. I am your host, Michael Tirado. I hope everybody has a fantastic February.